Now, to plant a garden is to dream of tomorrow, especially in a world where climate change is very crucial. A garden usually brings a sense of completion when it comes to home building. Well, on today's episode, we are discussing gardening. I'm joined by Garden Space Kenya. This is Building Better Homes, where we inspire visionaries to build it right. My name is Yvonne Kadzo, and welcome to the show. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, for inviting us at Garden Space Kenya.
Welcome.
Well, I can see you have a lot of stuff and trees. Maybe if we just get into the discussion, what kind of different plants do you guys have when it comes to gardening?
Yeah, we have outdoor plants and indoor plants.
Okay.
So it depends on what type of plants the client wants. Yes.
And when it comes to, urban living, we see that most people, maybe they don't have a large space for gardening and all that. What kind of plants would you recommend for people to do maybe a small scale of gardening?
Yeah, for such kind of people, we have what we call miniature plants. Miniature plants are tiny plants that can easily be accommodated in a small area. Because if you plant a huge plant in a small space, it can be like you are contradicting. It will not be proportional to the area and even the house itself. So it's good to select miniature small plants for the client.
So how do I choose the perfect type of soil when it comes to plants?
The perfect soil should be red soil. Use red soil because it's the best. The reason why you choose red soil is it drains excess water, the rainwater easily. Because if you choose black cotton tends to retain the soil and it cracks a lot. But this one, it drains and holds the particles together. Yes.
And when it comes to managing, let's say, pests or something, when it comes to gardening, what are the tips and information you can give us on that?
Yeah, the pests, there are different kinds of pests. We have termites, of which we can use chemical sprays. We have other pests like maybe the mites. You can use biological means by planting other plants which repel those type of pests. Yes.
And going back to what we were talking about, there are plants for inside and outdoor.
Yeah.
When it comes to the in-house plants, do they need to be sprayed with chemicals and all that? Because I'm assuming it's a house and we are in-house with the chemicals and us sharing the same oxygen. How does that go?
Now, if you want to treat your indoor plants, you basically carry them outside. Take them outside and do the treatment. They can stay there for 3 or 4 days, and then you bring them to the house. So that's how we do it. Yes.
And do you use fertilizers? Do I need to use fertilizers when it comes to gardening, whether it's a small gardening or a large scale gardening?
Yeah, you can use fertilizers, the inorganic or organic ones. Like urea, you can use urea for top dressing. You can use DAP for planting. Yes.
And most of the discussion we are having, actually not only in Kenya but all over the world, it's about climate change.
Yes.
And how nowadays, the gardening, what kind of environmental friendly techniques do you guys have when it comes to gardening and all that?
Okay. When it comes to climate change and all that, we are also interested in combating or mitigating all the challenges. We tend to mix these kind of plants. There are food plants like the mangoes, the oranges, and all those. Because the climate is changing, it's depleting our food systems. So we tend to bring in the oranges, the mangoes, instead of just planting plants that give us shade only.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is how you guys are trying. Okay,
Yes.
that's also it helps in food security,
Food security,
because
yeah.
at the end of the day, you guys contribute indirectly or directly towards
Yes,
it.
yes.
Now, talking of gardens, what are some of the common mistakes that people make when it comes to home gardening? Especially because we know most homeowners or people who are looking for it to be homeowners,
Yeah.
they tend to just, buy it and go and plant it on itself. What are some of the common mistakes that people make?
Yeah. First of all, I've said when someone buys a plant, they don't know how to maintain it. Okay, they just buy and plant and leave. There's watering, there's that pest management we say. So it's good if you buy your plant, you take care of it until it's grown. So you have to also bring in someone, an expert or a gardener, who can be helping in maintaining the plants. Yes.
And does Garden Space Kenya offer that? For instance, if I
Yeah.
buy a plant, and now will you guys guide me in
Yeah, we
how to
guide
take
you.
care?
We do guidance, we follow up with our clients, we follow up with the sites that we do to make sure that everything we have planted is doing well. Yes.
Now, talking of gardens,
Yes.
I really love gardens personally because they bring a sense of completion when it comes
Correct.
to a home
Yes.
and all that. How does the climate influence the type of plant that will be planted successfully, and one that, there are certain seasons when maybe certain plants do well, others don't. So how do I know that as a homeowner and I just want to have a garden? How do I know, this plant will do well during this season and the other one will not do well?
Now, before when a client comes in or calls us, we ask the client, where do you live? How is the climate? Someone can come from Mombasa, another one can come from Eldoret. So we know we shall ask, how is the weather? How is the sun over there? And then we shall advise on what type of plant. Like there's an indigenous plant that can do well in Western, and then there's an exotic plant that can do well in Mombasa. So we have to ask the type of climate in an area. Yes, before we introduce the plant. Yes.
Okay. Talking of plants,
Yes.
what are the tips that you can give us when it comes to maintaining plants in gardens?
Now, the tips in maintaining, there's weeding. You have to do weeding. Once you plant, you have to do your weeding, because when you plant this on the ground, there's some unwanted weeds that will grow around.
Okay.
So do continuous weeding. And then there's also that top dressing we talked. You have to fertilize, add some compost, add some manure, the fertilizers. Then you do watering. Yeah, when the plant, you have just plant on the ground, you don't just leave it. Give it water at least for 1 or 2 months before the roots catch up again. Yes.
Okay, I can see here we have so many different types of plants.
Yes.
Maybe if you can just take us through a few of them. Of course, we cannot finish the whole garden.
Yeah, it's
but you can take us maybe through a few of them.
Yes.
What type of trees they are, maybe something unique about it and all that.
Okay. Let's start with this. This is called Aurocaria. Aurocaria is a good outdoor plant. You can also plant it in a pot to control it. Yeah, most people use it, Aurocaria, as maybe a Christmas tree. You can beautify it, then you use for your events. Very nice tree. And then we have trees like palms. These are young royal palm. There are different types of palms. So this one you can grow it outdoor, maybe outside the gate or just inside at the center of the garden. Nice plant. Most of our clients love it because of the way it grows the trunk so gigantic. Yes.
Yeah, before you take us to the next plant, a question. You see, we've had these trees where they are planted outside,
Yes.
but their roots sometimes penetrate to the house.
Correct.
How does that, how do I know that this plant will not affect my building? Because we've seen where roots penetrate in and they form some cracks or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually in gardening or in maybe tree management, you have to study the root system of all the trees, the exotic, the indigenous. especially the indigenous, they can shoot their root like even 10 meters away. So you have to study your plants very well, your trees very well.
Okay.
They are fibrous, the fibrous trees, the taproot roots. So you have to study before you plant.
Oh, so you don't just come and take a
No.
plant na niweke kwa mgongo and I'm gone.
No. You can plant this tree along the wall. Maybe the root will crack it.
Yes, will
you go
crack.
in the house, you find it in the sitting room.
Yeah.
But you have to study first
Okay.
before you sell the tree to the client.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you are telling us another type of tree.
This is it's called traveler's plant or traveler's palm. It's good along the perimeter wall or just outside the gate for privacy. Maybe a client is sitting on the balcony, it covers the other side. Yes.
That's nice. Now, which leads to my next question.
Yes.
What are some of the low maintenance plants that you can maybe recommend and to our viewers?
Low maintenance plants, especially the outdoor. We have the hedges, just easy to maintain. We have roses. Rose plants are easy to maintain. We have the trees, the shrubs that grow short. You can easily maintain them. Yeah, I think that's
The most. Now, what are the benefits of one wanting to invest in gardening when it comes to home?
You see, everyone loves nature.
Yes.
Yeah, I personally love nature. You personally love nature.
Yeah.
You not do a concrete structure in the compound and don't give a space for your nature. It's good to have greeneries around you for fresh air, to clean your air, for shade, fruit trees that are there for your kids to eat. You see, those are some of the benefits you have, especially the fresh air, fruit trees, you'll have them. Nature to clean the airs around you, the chemical air we live in. Yeah. So those are some of the benefits you have.
Now, are there any creative ways that you can give us when it comes to gardening? Maybe some when it comes to especially indoors plants. What are some of the creative ways that you guys maybe recommend?
Yeah, creativity will depend on the type of the design you want. Maybe if an indoor plant, you might decide which kind of pot plant do I want to use. Because we have fiberglass pots, we have clay pots, we have concrete cement or concrete pots. So it depends on what the client wants actually. Some of them will say, I want natural clay pots. I don't want fiberglass. Yeah. So it actually depends on what the client wants.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, talking of gardening and all this green stuff and all that, what message would you give to homeowners who are looking forward to maybe have a garden, or future homeowners who are looking to invest in gardening?
Yeah. I would like to advise homeowners or even those who are renting apartments. It's good to have a plant next to your environment. Yeah. So in case you want plants, you can visit us.
Yeah.
We are Old Kiambu Road in Mutaiga. Welcome for advice. You can ask us to come to your home for advice, and then we can
move
make a deal
from there. Well, since we've seen all the aspects that we need to see probably when it comes to gardening and all that, what advice would you give to homeowners when it comes to gardening, or people who are looking forward to own homes when it comes to gardening?
Yeah, I'll advise the homeowners or renters at least to own 1 or 2 plants in their homes. Maintain your gardens nicely because the climate is changing. Everywhere you go, you see the climate changing. So please make sure you have a plant or a tree in your environment. It will help you in cleaning your air. Fruit plants will help your kids to eat. And those who are willing to support us, you can visit us at Old Kiambu Road in Mutaiga. Come buy 1 or 2 plants. And those who already have plants or gardens in their homes, you can invite us for advice or work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one last question before we wind up. Do you have plants that are for hot season or for hot areas?
Yes.
And which are those plants?
We have mostly indigenous plants. We have cactus plants. We have succulents. that can do well in hot areas. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Daniel, for having us.
Yes.
Back at home, viewers, I hope you've learned a thing or two. Feel free to ask questions and comment down below. Garden is something that we should all invest in, especially with all the changes of climate change globally. Well, this has been Building Better Homes. We inspire visionaries to build it right. My name is Yvonne Kadzo. Goodbye.
Okay guys, here we have different types of grasses we use for landscaping. Like this one is called Arabica grass. It grows in open area where there's full sun and you have to water it properly. It requires a lot of water. And then number 2, we have Zimbabwe grass. It grows under trees in shaded areas. A very nice lawn. When you mow it, looks green and lush, very nice. This is Bermuda grass. It grows in hot areas where there's a little rain or no rain. It's a nice grass for hot climates. And then we have Pemba. There are 2 Pemba grass, but this one has variegation. Variegated Pemba. This is green Pemba. It does well under in open areas or under shade. It can also do well in hot areas. So if you are in a hot climate area, there is shade, you can choose this Pemba grass. And then this is Paspalum. It does well in open areas. It's a very nice lawn also in our homesteads. Okay.
Do you have grasses for in-house?
No, they won't do well. They won't form that dense carpet.
Okay.
What will appear is they'll grow straight, like onions or napier grass. But if you want indoor grass, it's good you do it on the balcony, where there's full sun. Yeah, but inside the house you can use the artificial grass. Yes. Okay. This is bamboo. Bamboo is we have miniature bamboo and we have giant bamboo, but most of our clients love miniature bamboo.
What is the difference of miniature and the other one?
Miniature means small, small in size. Then the giant one has a big trunk. So this is small.
Yeah.
So the client can decide to use it as a pot plant and place on the balcony or maybe at the entry porch or back porch of the house. This one also can be used as a fence plant for privacy along the fence or demarcation of 2 gardens. Okay. And then we also have a royal palm. We had talked earlier about it earlier. It can be planted along the perimeter wall or at the entrance for privacy or for beauty. That's it. Okay.
Does it consume a lot of water?
No, once you plant, maybe the first 2 months that's when you water, but once it matures into a big plant, you can leave it.
Okay.
It can do well in hot areas, like in Mombasa, in Kitui, maybe at the lake region in Kisumu. It does very well.
Does that same apply to bamboo tree?
Yeah, it applies to bamboo. Bamboo can do well in hot areas, even cold areas. Yes. Okay.
And these beautiful purple things?
No, this one is just you can plant it along the boundary.
Okay.
Along the boundary of the lawn, the grass you have done, you can plant along the boundaries.
Okay.
And then these are like the sisal plants. You can plant them in hot areas where the climate is giving a challenge. These are good plants to balance the air, to balance the hotness in the area.
Okay.
Yeah. This is called bishop wood.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Why is it bishop?
Bishop is an indigenous plant. Yeah, it can do very well in hot or cold areas.
Okay.
But I prefer to plant in hot areas of Kitui. That is where the
Is it mostly used for shade or fence? Or?
Yeah, you can use it for shade, and then it becomes a huge plant. You can also make timber out of it.
Oh,
yes.
It produces nice
nice timber,
product?
nice frames.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. This tree is called thicker palm or Felicia decipens. Most plants love it for its shade.
Okay.
Only that. It grows very fast. It does very well in a well-balanced climate. Because if you take it to a hot climate, it might disappoint.
Okay.
Okay. This is ashok.
Ashok.
Ashok. Ashok, we plant it along the perimeter or along the fence. Ashok does very well in hot areas. Or when you decide to plant in cold areas, you mix the soil with sand.
Okay.
Yes, because it comes from the coast.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to the coast region, you'll see a lot of these trees.
Yeah.
People love it because of its privacy along the perimeter wall or along the fence.
And its roots, do they affect the wall in any way, or its roots are the ones that go down or they spread?
No, the root is fibrous. It doesn't affect the wall.
Okay.
Yes, or even around the house, it doesn't affect. Yes. You can move. This is pine.
Yeah.
Pine, I hope you have ever seen pine.
Yes.
Yes. It's an exotic plant. We can plant it in the compound and in hot areas. If you go just to a neighboring county, Machakos, where new homeowners are now building houses, you'll see most of these trees there. Because of the climate, they can do very well in hot areas. If you look at the leaves that needle-like, yes, they hold enough water. They are small, but they can really hold enough water. Yes, and they don't dry.
Ah, okay.
And this is nandiflem. Nandiflem, we have two types. The one that gives us red flowers. We have another one that gives us yellow flowers. Yes, it's an indigenous tree. It can do well in hot areas where we have challenges with climate. If you go also in cold areas, you'll find it. Yes, so it doesn't choose where to grow.
Okay.
Yes.
And this purple one?
This is croton. It's called croton. Just a shrub. Doesn't grow into a big tree.
Oh, yeah. So that's like the maximum height?
It can grow up to the highest it has gone is 7 feet.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it mostly for shade or privacy
just
or
beauty.
maridadi?
Maridadi.
Ah, okay. No wonder it looks maridadi. Okay.
This is a cycad. Yeah, it's a smooth cycad. We have Japanese cycad, we have rough cycad. This is smooth.
Okay.
You can plant it just outside the gate or inside. You can also pot it, but you put the pot outside.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you can. What's the effect if I put the pot inside?
Inside, we have studied this cycad. It is emitting some gases inside the house that can affect humans. That's why we prefer it to be outside.
Okay.
Yes. And then this is thicker palm. No, not thicker palm, golden palm.
Golden,
Sorry, this is golden palm. Golden palm can be an indoor plant, can be an outdoor plant. Yes, you can pot it, you can plant it direct to the soil.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I was confusing this with that because sometimes I see this indoors in a pot.
Yeah, this is indoor in a pot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice plant. Yeah. This is still a miniature bamboo.
Bamboo, yeah.
You can pot, you can put it on a fence. Yes.
And this is a cactus?
This is aloe vera.
Aloe vera. Okay.
Yeah, it's a medicinal.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a medicinal plant. Yeah, most clients will have it. Some of them can use it mixing with the little water, drink. Some just lick it.
We have so many uses of it as ladies.
Yeah. And then it brings me to a very interesting tree. I call it umbrella tree. I think you have seen it somewhere. Yeah. This tree, people like it, or people used to like it. But now, after our studies, we found it can shoot the roots even up to 50 meters away.
Oh, so that is dangerous for the house.
It's dangerous for the house, for the perimeter wall, for the lawn areas. Because once it shoots the root, it can also shoot another seedling, and then it becomes a tree. Yes. So we don't advise this one in the compound.
Okay.
Yeah. You can plant in the farm if you want, but not in the compound.
Okay.
Yes.
And in the farm, what does it? Does it give shade? Or
Just
what's
shade.
the purpose?
Just
okay,
shade.
just the shade.
Yeah. But in the compound, it also shades a lot of leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones
Not
that they
all.
fall, they turn yellow. They
Yeah.
okay.
On the ground, so it gives a lot of work in the garden. Yes.
And I see one here that grows interestingly.
Which one?
This.
This one.
Yeah.
This is a climber. It's a climber. You can, if you have a wall, it can grow even along the wall.
The ones that people put in
Yes.
in container and it goes.
Yes. And also maybe if you plant next to a tree like this, it can easily grow on the tree also.
Tree.
Yes.